Hello, talking. What's going on? Who's doing this to you? We have a podcast. Come in. This is K1. Hello. Who's doing this to you?
We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
Welcome back to the Struggle Session Podcast. I am your host, Hollow Tucker, and of course I have...
Doing a bad static impression, K1.
And Hollow Taku. Today's topic is WandaVision, as WandaVision has come to a close, and now we're on to Falcon and Winter Soldier. We're going to talk about our opinions of WandaVision.
So, i.e., spoiler alert for any of those who haven't seen it yet, but that's why we waited 2 weeks to make sure. So, if you haven't seen it, get your ass on Disney+.
Alright, so, quick synopsis. This takes place about 5 months after the events of Endgame, where we come across a Wanda and a Vision on old TVs, on a whole ass mystery upon it of why and how come, with some reoccurring cast members and new cast members.
But starting out, of course, with the natural '60s comedy of the Dick Van Dyke song.
So what we're doing is we're going to go episode by episode, which is only 10 episodes. I think 10 episodes.
Yeah, I think so.
10 episodes. And we're going to start with 1 and then go down. So episode 1 starts us out with the black and white Dick Van Dyke-esque show, which was pretty nice. It had lots of fun fact on that. Dick Van Dyke actually came onto set to help get that vibe that he had when doing the show. So we have a not dead Vision and Wanda Maximoff living in Westview, New Jersey. So right off the bat, what I loved about this was, one, the homage to the Dick Van Dyke show, and also, you know, the comedy, the Easter eggs. Like, one was like, oh, my husband with the indestructible head. Just giving that dark jab straight into, like, oh, you just died in Infinity War. Mm-hmm. Because your head's not indestructible, Chief. Mm-hmm. The show does get its weirdness towards the end of the Hearts. That's right, the Hearts. Mrs. Hart laughing at her husband, who is joking at this point, and going, "Stop it, stop it, stop it." I'm just like, holy fuck.
Mm-hmm. Just creeps for days. Like, it just felt like a bad rewind, but it was the equivalent of what I first thought was, yeah, Wanda has a fling in it, and this is the first of many glitches to come, if you've just seen in that. But, you know, best way to go ahead and just get a very dark and creepy feeling to the first episode. Very much what I was expecting.
Yeah, and then you get to meet Agnes, who is their neighbor, who randomly appears all the time, who the actress plays her a phenomenal job, I've got to say. Now we're going to skip to episode 2. We're still in the 60s, and all of us, they're doing a magic show. You get introduced to another person named Dottie, which, oh wait, hang on, no, wait. Yeah, okay. Sorry on that part. I thought I got my episodes mixed up. So you get to meet, you know, Vision gets to go to work with the City Watch. Wanda's with Housewives, and the theme for episode 2 based off of Bewitched. The theme was great. So what Vision ate gum, and that was the weirdest thing, is that he ate gum, which can just face right through him, but it gummed up his gears, making him very drunk.
Truly the point of an old Looney Tunes cartoon. Just like to take smallest thing.
The other thing that got me was he told that one of his coworkers stated that his coworker was a terrorist. Fighting, as contributing, which was very, very weird.
It actually played off the Red Scare back in the day, so that's where I think they got that from, because back in the day the Red Scare was the big boogeyman of white suburbia, so
Yeah. So then in Magic Tricks, Wanda had to use magic to make sure that, I don't know why, but to keep Vision's secret a secret, even though, everyone knows who Vision is. Wanda gets the gum out, and then, getting ahead of myself, there was a weird thing going on with Wanda that, the radio started talking, and hence the opening, our little intro bit, thanks to K1, of some mysterious guy going, Wanda, can you hear me? Who's doing this to you, Wanda? Wanda, who's doing this to you? And enough, Dottie shatters the glass, and then her hand bleeds. And
it's the first time we actually see some actual color.
Actually, no, that's the second time. The first time actually was in the beginning of the episode, where a helicopter landed into Wanda's bush before meeting Dottie. And it was in a red and gold color, symbolizing like Iron Man.
True.
With, if you look carefully, the sword logo. So, after that whole episode, a beekeeper comes into the world, and Wanda goes no, and rewinds it. And then all of a sudden, she's pregnant, and in color. And that is episode 2, which was done pretty well. I'm not going to try to keep going down this lines of episodes and explaining what happens, but I might just do this for that podcast, just so you guys are caught up. You guys know what we feel. And so that was the first 2 episodes that came out, and I was like, what the fuck? I have so many questions, like, who the fuck's that beekeeper? What the fuck is going on in this place? What the fuck is for the kids? But I digress. Episode 3.
So then we go to the 70s, i.e. cut off from the Brady Bunch and the first sense of the quote-unquote Technicolor era. So, of course, we know that Wanda is pregnant, and so the whole thing is the, slapstick comedy of she's about to give birth, and we need a doctor, so Vision has to go through a quirky adventure to find the doctor. But then it ends up that Wanda actually has one of her quote-unquote neighbors help her deliver one baby, and then of course that leads to the twins being born. But of course by the end of this we have the sense with the doctor saying, getaways, you can't leave. So it's just like more of the intense of, I'm trapped here, something's going on, and that's when Vision begins questioning. And then of course we see the biggest one of that episode, in which Wanda actually knocks one of the neighbors out of her hex magic dimension, and we find out, oh my god, she's taking over this town, and she is under her own spell. And even as Vision questions it, all she says is, nah, she had to go. And of course Vision doesn't even question that. He just literally goes, okay, back to the twins. So overall, that was the big reveal of, yes, Wanda is the main conflict over this bubble. So it proves that she's not really the villain, but it's just like something happened in which she made this, but she is the source of this power. So by far, that was a good thing. Good ode to the 70s and the quirkiness of it, but then got into a super serious tone.
So, with Billy and Tommy being born, which is crazy, it's given a lot of wonders of what the fuck is really going on in this place. You know, even though we know this is Wanda's doing, but still, like, why is Wanda doing this? Why this? Why that? Episode 4. We actually go a little bit back into the past. By past, I mean we are at the climax of Endgame with the snap coming back and people come back. And you meet Monica Rambeau, which is the Captain Marvel's friend's daughter that you met way back in Captain Marvel. I know that's a long time. Back into the 90s. She comes back. She was blipped. You get this chaos, which, mind you, was well done to show the chaos that happens when people got blipped back. And finds out that her mother died while she was blipped. You get to meet Director Hayward, who is part of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is a subdivision of S.H.I.E.L.D., but...
Sword.
Sorry. Director Hayward, who's the director of Sword, which is like kind of close to S.H.I.E.L.D., you find out that Wanda took Vision's body. Then you get to meet Jimmy Woo again. If you guys don't know who Jimmy Woo is the FBI agent in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Coming up with some close-up magic, which was pretty spot on that he learned. Meaning, I have a feeling he didn't get blipped. But he looks like he got blipped. Because
I mean, he still looked very young.
Yeah.
So,
I guess, yeah. Then you get to meet Darcy again. Darcy comes back, and then discovers that whatever's in that hex is a TV show. And, it goes a bit crazy that you get to see the first 2 episodes, but you get to see it on the TV side. There's some cuts and weird glitches going on. And then you jumps out as Monica Rambeau, who was stuck into the hex, comes straight out. Given the backstory of what people are seeing and all that, it really does help. It kind of makes it more into an MCU type thing than seeing the episodes of like Wanda's, Vision, which is pretty nice. Episode 5, halfway done.
So, of course, the twins we are now in the 80s with the more of the All in the Family kind of thing, kind of sitcom. So, they start off as 5-year-olds, hiding a puppy, and then, of course, can we keep him, Mom? But then it's like, I don't know if you're old enough to do that.
Yeah, let me re-clarify. They were babies and they aged themselves like 5 years.
Right, and then literally when she says, I don't think you're old enough, ages them, oh no, don't you dare, and ages themselves to 10. Okay, I think we're old enough. So, of course, they keep the dog. However, this also starts to bring up some things for Wanda as she begins to...
You good for dinner? Me and Ernie are getting vocalities.
What? Sorry.
Who's popping?
Hello. This conversation is recorded for insurance purposes and training. Would you like to continue?
Okay. So, Wanda begins to see some major cracks in her reality. She didn't see them as she was giving birth, but however, as she begins to see the children in her life, she soon begins to see just like everything starting to condense in her control. And it literally gets to the point, like right at the end, where she tries to roll the credits, but then Vision even calls her out and says, "Yo, what's going on? What are you doing to me?"
Also important note, the dog died.
Yes, true. But majorly, is like this is the first time that Vision literally calls her out and says, "I want an explanation," to the point they're getting ready to fight. And it just seems just as they were starting to get that way, the doorbell rings, and of course, Pietro, i.e. the other Pietro from the Foxverse of the X-Men.
Hey, what with somehow like a weird New York type thing. Hey, brother can get a hug from his sister.
Now, of course, as soon as he shows up, everybody just said Multiverse, which means, hey, they're bringing in one of the heaviest hitters in the X-Men franchise, seeing as he was in all three of the beginning X-Men movies from Fox and played like major roles in all of them.
And Darcy looks at the screen and goes, "They recast Pietro?"
Yeah, but overall that was one of the biggest shockers, because that literally just said, "Yep, the door is open." Many fans just said, "Yep, we're getting mutants. We are going full on mutants."
Episode what are we on? 6. We're on episode 6 now. Hang on. Yep, episode 6. Halloween. So as we get a bit of a Malcolm in the Middle esque feel for this, we where the twin starts talking to us on the screen. Pietro's really there with super speed. Wanda comes down as a Sokovian what the fuck was it? A Sokovian witch or something. Forecast or something. Fortune teller. That's it. Sokovian fortune teller. But in reality, it's her old suit in the comics, and Vision comes out in her old suit. And alright, so the boys go out. So Vision goes to do his patrol, the City Watch patrol, and Wanda, Pietro, Tommy, and Billy go out. And all of a sudden, they start smashing pumpkins, doing all that. But Wanda finds out that Vision actually doesn't have a shift with the City Watch. Vision starts to go out into the city and see people frozen with tears and try to go to the outskirts of town and all that. And zaps Agnes, and she starts freaking out. She's doing this to her mind, and zaps her back into like frozenness and tries to go out. Meanwhile, Tommy finds out he has super speed, just like his uncle, which is correct in the comics. Now, going back to Vision, Vision goes out into the hex. It starts dissipating. It's being destroyed. And Billy gets his telepath ability, his psychic ability, and sense that, his dad's in trouble, and tells Wanda. Right after Wanda, fucking blasts Pietro away, she extends the hex, and, a majority of the shield, the sword agents get swallowed up, become circus people, including Darcy. But not Jimmy Woo or Monica Rambeau. And Haywood has escaped. Episode 7.
So after all of that, Wanda begins to do the usual, present day sitcom of talking and just having her first person / third person splits. She's breaking the fourth wall while simultaneously still running the show. However, after that, Monica actually breaks through and simultaneously gains her powers. Thus, she will be either Spectrum or Photon. When she returns to confront Wanda, she tries to say, "I'm here to help." But of course, Agnes gets in the way and says, "No, this is not part of it. You cannot believe her. I will protect you." So, against her better judgment, she goes with Agnes. But then, as she's trying to calm her down, she actually starts searching in Agnes's house and stumbles upon a basement. In the basement, it's very mystical / medieval, and we see like a very dank and dark dungeon type. And of course, Agnes finally reveals that she's actually Agatha, and she is one of the most powerful witches in the entire universe, and that she has been in here all along.
Because it was Agatha all along.
Yes, so Agatha was playing that, and plus she killed the dog too, so that's another thing.
Yep.
So that turns into the big reveal. Yeah, she's been pulling the strings on everybody in the town to make sure that Wanda wouldn't even see.
Episode 8. Previously on WandaVision. Wanda gets to go through the whole entire backstory of what the fuck has happened to her.
Mm-hmm.
First things up, we go back in time when she was 10 years old with Pietro and her parents. And we discover that her love, the reason why we have these sitcoms is because she loves them. This is her favorite pastime, especially the Dick Van Dyke Show. That was one of her favorites. Her dad sells bootlegged stuff, which if you actually look at the truck, it says Malcolm in the Middle, and Malcolm in the Middle did not exist during that time.
That's...
As I keep trying to state to people. And then, boom! The Stark bomb comes in, and we kind of find out that Wanda had a little bit of magic to it to stop that missile from blowing up. Then we move on to where her and Pietro volunteered themselves to go and be tested by Hydra agents, and all of a sudden we just see a figure. I am missing some stuff. Quick background on that part real quick. Agnes is actually way back from Salem, and she killed her mom by stealing the powers and gaining them. Cool, we caught up. So, getting tested, she comes in, and there's Loki's scepter, which is the Mind Stone. And all of a sudden, she enters in and connects with the Mind Stone, and we see a figure of a crown, and she's out. But it was like it was cut out when they were looking through the security film. It was weird. Then we go in towards Civil War era, where of course Wanda's watching some sitcoms and Vision comes through and they have a nice talk. Then we jump to the aftermath of what happened after Endgame, where she literally walked into S.W.O.R.D. and was shown Vision's body being experimented on, breaks the window, and she doesn't feel him. And she left. She didn't steal the body. So Wayward was lying about this. So she leaves. She goes and finds the note that Vision gave of a plot in Westview, looks at it, and just cried. Because it says this is like something about like this is where our hearts are. And she cried. Her emotions go haywire. And the hex becomes, and she created this Vision from memory. And it gets kidnapped. We find out that Agnes is, Agatha Harkness. She's got her trapped, and now she captured the kids. Episode 9.
So, of course, this leads to the final confrontation between Agnes and Wanda. Overall, it mainly led to not only the introduction of Agnes as a witch, but also White Vision created by S.W.O.R.D., who comes in contact with Wanda. Of course, she figures out that isn't Vision, and then Vision of her dimension comes in, and they actually have a very, very MCU-based fight. Like, you could tell based on that fight that they actually put some freaking
just to let you know, the scene of I think it was White Vision getting knocked into like a container and explodes is actually taken straight out of Superman, the Henry Cavill version of where Zod gets zooted out and then it explodes. It's like shot by shot comparison, and it looks exactly like it.
Awesome. Yes. So Of course, this goes back and forth between Agatha and Wanda, Vision and White Vision, until randomly they start like philosophizing their common goals, in which the Vision of this dimension literally fills in the cracks, i.e. the data missing from White Vision. So, in equivalent, now the White Vision has the memories and data of the original Vision, and then all he says is, "I am Vision," and leaves.
So now we jump back where Agatha and Wanda are fighting, and Agatha, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Agatha was like, "You're the Scarlet Witch." First time we ever hear her name.
True.
Ever. And so apparently she is stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme,
i.e. Doctor Strange.
Yeah. So, they beat Agatha by shooting shit and causing her the same runes that made sure that Wanda could use her power, so she couldn't use it, and she quickly turned her back into Agnes, and sadly had to let go of her family and Vision, and everyone fucking hates her in Westview. And Monica was like, "Good luck," and all that. End credit scenes. Monica was approached by a scroll and is zooted up to presume for Secret Wars, and Wanda is astral projected herself and moving around like normal, but astral projected the Scarlet Witch, and all you can hear is Tommy and Billy saying, "Mommy, help," and fades to black.
So, just to finish this up, what does this mean for the future? So, I believe that in turmoil of saving her children, which we can now confirm are from another dimension, she will open up the multiverse. And now that we know that, one, she had her powers before meeting with the Mind Stone and the experimentation, yes, mutants will be coming in very soon, i.e. so we know X-Men. I really hope to see something with Magneto very soon, like with that, just to find out exactly her origin of gaining these mutant abilities. But overall, the main thing I'm still sticking to is that Mephisto is behind the Twins in Terror, because basically, one, we know Agatha literally had dark powers. Who did she get those from? And plus, the bunny, Senior Scratch, was never found.
Also, fun fact, Pietro is not Pietro. His name is Ralph Boner. Thank you, Marvel.
Really?
But overall, give this 9 out of 10. Really good job. With how WandaVision is going, we don't know how. As WandaVision's finished, we don't know what's gonna be more in the future, but we'll probably find out in probably Spider-Man: No Way Home or Doctor Strange 2: The Madness of the Multiverse.
True.
And guys, that's it. That's WandaVision. I am Holo Jockey, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and always, guys, keep moving forward. We'll see you guys next time.
Yes, thank you for literally keeping Fridays really great for us, Marvel. So keep it up hopefully with Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Laters.